Good afternoon. Thank you everyone for joining us for our call with Adisa Isaac. As always, please raise your hand and I'll call on you. Just to get through everyone's questions, if you could limit your turn to one question each, that we would appreciate it. We'll start with Tyler Donahue.
Good afternoon, Adisa. I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing good.
Excellent. How are you feeling in year 3 on campus? I know you had a spring ball under your belt back in 2019, but how different is this experience for you at this stage of your career?
It's different, year 3 came fast. I was just an early enrollee, but it came fast. It's different, we took that year off for COVID. So this is the first one from 2019. And just the energy and the drive we have in practice and stuff it's really good. I feel like everything is going smooth with the spring ball, and we're just trying to finish it out good.
Mark Brennan.
Hey, Adisa, thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Hey, you're still a really young guy. But with everybody you lost, you're suddenly the most experienced guy playing wise in that room. What has it been like for you to kind of take over, I assume, a leadership role? Are you comfortable in that? Thank you.
Yeah. I've been put in this position. It's nothing that I'm not ready for. Obviously, it's a new step for me. And I feel like I have to take a lot of the young guys under my wing, being that I'm still a young guy. So I feel like I just have to learn as I go and, help as I go as well. Yeah.
T. Frank.
Hey, Adisa, how would you say John Scott Jr. has impacted the way you approach the game?
He gave me this mentality of being a technician. I feel like he brought a lot of great values to the D-line room. We all have been improving a lot, especially this technique and playing with effort. So I feel like he's brought a lot to the D-line room.
Elton Hayes.
Hey, Adisa, appreciate your time this afternoon.
Thank you.
One of your teammates who's expected to really take a step forward, just playing time and just his leadership is PJ Mustafer. What's it been like this spring with him, knowing that he's expected to take that leap, and how have you seen it really kind of change, if it has him at all?
Just it starts in practice, just the way he practices. He's a high energy type guy, and we all feed off of him. He gives us the drive to run to the ball, key the ball. He gives us that drive, to be great. So he's bringing a lot of effort, and he's playing one of his best games so far.
New bias Wilborn.
I'm going to ask you about an offensive player. Earlier, we were talking to Parker Washington, and a lot of people talked about his size as a receiver. What have you noticed about his size and strength and be able to help him as a receiver from what you've been able to see?
He's built. He's not the tallest, but he's built like a running back, and he runs like a running back. He's not on film. He may not look the fastest, but he has deceptive speed and he can get open. So he definitely has a lot of traits that you want in a receiver. Recently in practice, I had to try to hawk him down. But I seen the speed firsthand. He has some wheels on him, so that's good.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Adisa, thanks for your time.
No problem.
You feel like you're better this year. What's different with you, and what are some areas you'd like to grow in between now and August?
Mainly just working my hands and technique, reading keys. Just the little things that's going to take my game to the next level. There's a lot of talented guys, but not everybody puts in the extra work, working on their craft and all that. So I just want to mainly work on my hands and technique.
John Sauber.
Hey, Adisa, what's the room kind of like this year without someone like Shaka Tony in it, who's sort of been a staple in that defensive end room for so long?
It's good because a lot of new guys finding their way. Everybody's finding who they are. Like their role in the room. So it's good. We have new players as well. So it's good that we all get to gel and find everybody gets to figure out who they are in the room. So somebody's gonna have to step up. So that's a great opportunity for anybody in the room.
Max, Ralph.
Hey, Adisa, what are you taking from guys like Micah and Shaka who have now left and transitioning it into your new role as a leader in that room?
Recently just talked to Shaka, getting getting feedback. I just been picking his brain even since I got on campus, just asking him, how do you do this? When do you do this? Why do you do this? Just asking him everything, just picking his brain. But just how they carried themselves, how they practiced, how they led, how they was leaders in the room and on the team. Just finding little pieces that I can add, that we can incorporate in this team that we have here.
Tyler Donahue.
Yeah, Adisa, one of those pieces you added this winter was Ebikade. I know you guys call him AK. We've heard some good things about him. Can you discuss what he's brought to the room, what he's brought to your position, and what you think he'll do on the field for the Nittany Lions this year?
Yeah, AK has been a great addition. We've grown closer already as he's been here, but he brings a lot of explosiveness. Great get off, great hands. He brings a lot to the table. And I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year.
Mark Brennan.
Adisa, now that you're a grizzled veteran, I wanted to ask you about a couple younger guys in your room, Smith Vilbert and Zariah Fisher. How were those guys looked, and what could we expect when we see them out on the field?
Smith Vilbert, starting off with Smith Vilbert, he's 6'6", very tall guy, can hold 270 on his frame. He's a big guy, but he also can move, former basketball player. So he has a lot of twitchiness in him, a lot of speed, a lot of length. He has very long arms. So, he has a lot of tools to work with. It's just, we all sharpening our tools up during this time here right now. And Zariah, being that he moved from linebacker, he brings a little different aspect. He's still finding his way, even like just learning how to get in a good stance, certain things like that. But he's on the right track to, be a great end here in the future.
T. Frank.
Adisa, I gotta say that was an awesome breakdown. You almost sound like a coach.
I'm trying to be as detailed as possible.
Well, I want to ask you about that, actually. You talked about becoming a better technician. What do you think your best skill is right now? What's the thing that you think that you bring to the table the most, like the first thing off the list on what you've been working on as a technician?
As a technician, just hand placement, trying to be as accurate as possible, because, you're not always going to catch somebody's hands going full speed. So it's just, just trying to slow things down and just put it all together once it comes.
Audrey Snyder.
Adisa, Nick Tarberton's somebody who a lot of your coaches and teammates have said they think he's in line for a breakout this year. What have you seen from Nick this season that maybe leads you to believe, if you think, maybe he's also going to be a breakout guy?
Nick is a hard worker. He pushes us every day in the weight room, on the field, after hours, after practice, before practice. He's always working, and just everybody's feeding off his energy as well. He's a great leader as well. He has a lot of respect. Everybody respects him. And, he's just been working, and that's all you can ask for. He's working, and it's going to pay off for him in the long run.
Tyler Donahue.
If you could give us a, kind of an assessment of a couple different offensive linemen. Rasheed Walker has gotten a lot of really positive reviews this spring. He was complimentary of you. What does he like to go against? And Landon Tengwall is the other one I wanted to ask about. What stands out about him in his first semester on campus?
Rasheed is a very unique player, just off of like going against him every day. You would get used to somebody's sets or, Hollywood, but, she does a good job of changing it up. He's very versatile in in his sets, and it's at times it's hard to, you know, go against. But he's a great player. You know, his ceiling is high. You know, I don't even think he's close to what he can be. You know, he's a great player, of course. But as far as Tangwell, you know, he's a big, strong, powerful guy. First year here, he's showed a lot of improvement, being that he early enrolled. But yeah, he's a big, strong, powerful guy. He has a lot of tools. He's very fluent, so I could see him progressing.
Mark Brennan.
Adisa, circling back to the leadership thing, you're all obviously very comfortable talking to us. Do you view yourself as kind of a vocal leader, a leader by example, or kind of growing into one or both of those roles? Thank you.
I've not always been the biggest talker. You know, I'm really shy. I'm not really the biggest talker, but you know, if in times like this, you know, I have to voice my opinion. You know, help the guys, the young guys. So, but I'm more of a lead by example. You know, I say a couple things here and there. I'm not more of a screamer. You know, but you know, when it's time to be vocal, I will have to be vocal. So it's something that I'm trying to improve on. Being in this new leadership role.
Audrey Snyder.
Adisa, last year, obviously, on and off the field, there was so much going on, so many challenges for everybody. What was the most difficult part of that season for you?
Probably just you know, with COVID. COVID has been the staple of the path of last year. You know, that just slowed a lot of things down, just off of like being with the team and getting like just progressing as a team. So it slowed a lot of things down last year. So I would just say it's a lot, like everything spring ball wise, you know, last year that we couldn't do. Just missing out on that.
Tyler Donahue.
We heard from Coach Scott last week, and he talked about Akeem Beeman having defensive end qualities and maybe showing off that versatility this fall. Does that make sense to you? I mean, what do you see from Akeem on the practice field, where not only can he be a tackle, but he can roll outside when you need him?
Akeem is very consistent, and he's playing very dominant. He plays around of saying he plays end, but him being at D tackle is very special. Like when you watch him play, he gets off the ball with speed and power, and it's like a lot of guys can't handle that. And it's like he has the end speed and twitchiness with D tackle strength. So it's like that combination with his hands and just the way he plays the game, his motor. You know, he has all the tools that he needs. And that's another guy that's just, you know, can't wait to see what he puts on tape.
T. Frank.
Hey, Adisa, I know Coach Troutwine isn't your position coach, but you go up against the guys he trains, you know, on a daily basis. Have you seen a difference in the offensive linemen since he's gotten there? And if so, what would you say that it is?
Yes, most definitely. Like, you know, even they have told me, you know, they feel like they've gotten better, and I can see it in every single one of them. Just like them, just the way they use their hands more, they're more handsy. You know, they bring a lot more that they didn't last year. So I feel like they've improved a lot, especially, you know, just the way they're moving, like how fluent they are. They've improved a lot.
Mark Brennan.
Adisa, how do you feel you played last year? What were some of the maybe highlights and lowlights, for lack of a better way of putting it, to your performance in 2020?
I feel like last year wasn't, you know, my best year. I feel like I have a lot of room to grow, and a lot more work to get better, a lot of things to get better on. You know, I'm glad that I got the chance to play. So I'm just grateful for that opportunity. But, you know, I feel like I have a long way to go, and I'm just putting my head down working right now.
Time for two more. Audrey Snyder.
Adisa, I think when a lot of people look at the defensive ends, at least on paper, we see a group where there's been a lot of turnover, a lot of new faces, a lot of unproven guys. Why shouldn't fans be concerned about your position group heading into next season?
we're all hard workers and we all know what we want this year. Being what happened to us last year with our we went 4-5, you know, so we got a chip on our shoulder this year. So we all are working extremely hard, and it's gonna show and it's gonna pay off for us, and we know it. So.
Last question, Elton Hayes.
Hey, Adisa, I wanted to ask you about one of your compatriots in defense. We're getting Jair Brown here in a little bit. He's a guy who came in from Lackawanna, played quite a bit last year. He could be in line to see an uptick in playing time. What's he been like this spring, and how has he played and developed?
From last year to this year, I've seen him grow a lot. You know, I feel like he's gained a lot of confidence in his second year here, and he's starting to come out of his shell and make a lot of more plays. That so I feel like he's going to be a big help, and he's going to be a big addition for us going into the season.